So there are at least three different scenarios or tools that you'll want to consider when it comes to dealing with command line output. And the first of those, the one that I like to think about, is syntax highlighting or coloring. Essentially, do I have some sort of file like a JSON file that I want to pipe out and take a look at? And can I provide some coloring to that so I could differentiate names versus values? And a tool to use for this would be something like BAT. So let's just say I have a file here, appsettings.json. When I dump that out, it's not too hard to read through because it's got nice indentation. But if I'd like to kick it up a notch, I could use the bat command. Now when I run that, I get some nice syntax highlighting. And in this case, I also get some line numbers. And then across the top, I have the name of the file, which might be useful if I was doing something like dumping out all my JSON files. Now I could see all of them. Each of them are styled, line numbers, and the file names. And of course, BAT can handle other file formats. For example, I've got a YAML file. So instead of just dumping out the composed YAML, in this case, I could use BAT, and now I get some syntax highlighting. Now, if I want to modify some of the ornation, like to get rid of the line numbers, to make this simple, I could use -p for plain. And now I just get the contents of the file with coloring, without the line numbers and the header, etc. And of course, BAT can work with many different file formats, like I've got a CS proj here. Though in this case, it doesn't look like it recognized that. So what I could do in this case is specify the language with l-xml. And that's much better. If you want to see what all BAT supports, there's a list languages. You can dump out an entire list here and work through what all it supports. And in the case of the CS proj, if I wanted to, I could explicitly add a mapping from CS proj to XML. I'm kind of surprised that isn't already mapped. Now, there's one area of using BAT if I dump out this compact.json. When I have a JSON file that's smushed into a single line, that can be hard to read through. And even though I have some syntax coloring here, it might be nice to blow this out across multiple lines. And I'll talk about that in the next video about whitespace and pretty print.